Okay, so if you just, close your eyes for a second. Picture the ultimate European wilderness. What pops into your head? Is it maybe some uh, jagged Austrian peak? Or maybe you're walking on one of those wooden paths, across those incredible turquoise lakes in Croatia.
Yeah, well, we're about to find out which ones really stand out. Today we're doing a deep dive, really getting into the continent's wildest spots. We're mapping out the 15 national parks that, honestly, every serious traveler needs to see.
Exactly. Think of this as your shortcut. We're getting straight to the best bits, the icons, but also maybe some hidden gems. We've looked at sources ranking these amazing places, these sanctuaries for nature lovers, adventure seekers.
Right.
And we're going through them sequentially, starting at 15, working our way up to number 1. And it's not just about pretty pictures. Expect some, surprising facts, too. History, geology, how you actually experience these places.
Yeah, prepare to maybe rethink what picturesque even means.
Yeah.
These 15 parks, they offer such a huge range of experiences. You've got everything from rugged coastlines to, those vast Scandinavian wilderness areas.
All right, let's dive in. We'll start the countdown with what we're calling Tier 5, cascades, cliffs, and giants.
Okay, so kicking us off at number 15, we're in Croatia. Krka National Park.
Ah, Krka.
Yeah, and unlike some parks famous for, say, huge mountains, Krka is really all about the water, crystal clear water, flowing over these sort of limestone terraces.
And the main attraction there is just, wow, Scridenski book. It's this amazing series of waterfalls and pools, right? It goes on for like 800 meters.
That's the one.
What really jumps out, though, from the sources is the visitor experience. The fact that you can actually swim in certain spots near the falls, that feels incredibly rare for something that powerful.
It really does. It creates this very direct sensory experience. You've got the sound, the spray. It's quite something. But, that access, that closeness.
It does raise the question, doesn't it? How much of a sanctuary is it if it gets overwhelmed with crowds in summer?
But that's always the trade-off, isn't it? Access versus preservation. It's something you definitely want to look into before planning a trip.
Exactly. And Krka isn't just the falls. There's history, too. You can get a boat out to Visavac Island, see the monastery there. It's a nice blend.
Okay, moving on. Number 14 takes us a bit west and north to Germany. Berchtesgaden National Park in Bavaria.
Ah, yes. Classic alpine scenery here. Established back in 1978. Proper Wonderland stuff.
And this is where you find the Königssee. That lake, it looks almost like a fjord, doesn't it? Tucked in by those sheer cliffs. It feels more Norway than Bavaria sometimes.
It really does.
But the detail that caught my eye was the trumpet thing. The electric boat captain playing a trumpet. Yeah, isn't that great? It's more than just a boat ride. It's like this little performance piece. They do it specifically to show off the lake's acoustics. The echo bouncing off of those walls is apparently phenomenal. Turns a simple trip into something, well, quite memorable.
Huh. And for hikers, you've got challenges like the Watzmann Mountain or, for an easier option, the Jenner Mountain cable car gives you those big panoramic views.
Right. They say on a good day you can see clear across to Salzburg.
Wow, that's quite a view.
So from the German Alps, let's head way up north. Number 13, Jotunheimen National Park in Norway.
Jotunheimen, home of the giants.
Exactly. And it lives up to the name. It has the highest concentration of mountains over 2,000 meters anywhere in Northern Europe. This place screams high-altitude adventure.
It sounds like serious trekking territory. Like, this is where you go if you really want a challenge.
Definitely. People go there specifically to hike the Besagen Ridge, that famous narrow path.
Yeah.
With the lakes on either side, one green, one blue. It looks incredible.
Yeah, I've seen pictures.
Or, for the really ambitious, there's summiting Galtipiggen, which is Norway's highest peak.
And it's a wildlife haven, too, right? Sources mention reindeer, maybe Arctic foxes, golden eagles.
If you're lucky and patient, yes. It's that kind of raw, wild nature. Pretty extreme.
Okay, let's move into Tier 4. This section mixes things up a bit. We've got history, geology, and some classic Italian peaks coming up.
Sounds good. Starting with number 12, we land in Ireland. Killarney National Park.
Ah, Killarney. Significant because it was Ireland's very first national park, wasn't it?
That's right. So it carries that historical weight. And it really is where nature and, that Celtic history feel intertwined. You're walking through ancient woods, past ruins like Muckross Abbey.
Yeah, you can really feel the layers of time there. And Muckross House, the big Victorian mansion, is a major draw, too.
It is. But for that quintessential Irish experience, you kind of have to consider taking a jaunting car, one of those horse-drawn carriages through the Gap of Dunloe. It's supposed to be incredibly dramatic.
And keep an eye out for the deer. The red deer roaming free are a signature sight there.
Absolutely, especially in autumn.
Okay, crossing the water now. Number 11 takes us to Iceland. Thingvellir National Park. This place is basically a geology lesson brought to life.
It really is. It's a UNESCO site, and it's one of the few places on Earth where you can physically see the boundary between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates above ground. The Rift Valley is just there.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it? Reading about plate tectonics is one thing, but actually seeing the evidence of continents splitting apart, and then the fact you can dive or snorkel in the Silfra fissure.
Right, you're literally swimming between two continents.
In water that's unbelievably clear, apparently. Visibility over 100 meters sometimes.
That's what they say. And Thingvellir isn't just geology, it's hugely important historically, too. This was the site of the Althing, the Viking parliament, started way back in 930 AD. The landscape itself was the setting for this early democracy.
Amazing. Okay, let's head south. Italy time. Number 10 brings us to the Dolomiti Bellunese National Park.
Ah, the Dolomites.
Yeah.
Jagged beauty is the phrase that comes to mind. Those sheer, dramatic limestone peaks like the Palle di San Martino Messi.
You look incredible, and there's that phenomenon, the Inrosadira.
Yes. You have to try and time it right, but witnessing that moment when the setting sun hits the rock, it just lights up the whole range in these intense pinks and oranges. It's supposed to be magical.
Sounds like it. And this isn't just for looking, right? It's serious hiking country. Via ferrata routes, climbing cliffs with cables and ladders, not for the faint-hearted.
Definitely a place for adventure. And sticking with Italy for number 9, we shift dramatically to the coast. Cinque Terre National Park.
Cinque Terre, those 5 colorful villages clinging to the cliffs, so iconic.
Totally. It's famous as much for the human element, how people built these villages in such extreme terrain, as for the natural setting.
Right. The sources really emphasize that contrast, the steep, terraced hillsides dropping right into the blue Mediterranean. Hiking the trails between the villages seems like the classic way to see it.
That, or taking a boat trip to see it all from the water, gives you great perspective on the architecture against the cliffs.
But like Krka, you have to imagine crowds are a factor here, especially on those narrow paths.
Oh, absolutely. Managing visitor numbers is a huge challenge for Cinque Terre. It's something to be aware of when planning.
Okay, moving into our Tier 3, we're looking at landscapes tied to literature, some really deep canyons, and misty Scottish lochs. Starting with number 8, the Lake District in England.
Ah, the Lake District. So much cultural resonance here. This landscape of fells and lakes famously inspired poets like Wordsworth, Beatrix Potter later on. It's deeply woven into English literature.
Yeah, you feel that history. But it's not just gentle walks, is it? You can tackle Scafell Pike, England's highest peak.
You can indeed. And the views, if you get a clear day, can stretch for miles, sometimes even to Scotland. And for a real adrenaline rush, there's the Striding Edge route on Helvellyn. That's a proper exposed ridge walk for experienced hikers.
So a mix of culture and challenge. Okay, next, number 7. We pivot to somewhere quite different. Durmitor National Park in Montenegro.
Durmitor. Yeah, this place is defined by its extreme geography, really rugged.
Extreme seems right. The sources mention 48 peaks over 2,000 meters, including Bobotop Kuk, which is over 2,500 meters.
That's right. But the standout feature, the thing that really draws adventurers, is the Tara River Canyon.
Europe's deepest gorge, apparently, like 1,300 meters deep.
Exactly. It's a massive canyon, and it offers some pretty intense whitewater rafting and ziplining. It's about immersing yourself in that raw elemental power.
Wow. And alongside the canyon, there are also these glacial lakes. Mountain eyes, they call them locally.
18 of them. The Black Lake is probably the most famous, very picturesque, nestled there below the peaks. It provides that contrast, serene lakes in this immense canyon.
Okay, final stop in this tier, number 6. We're heading north again to Scotland, Loch Lomond and the Trossachs National Park.
Right. What's interesting here is its accessibility, really. It's quite close to Glasgow, but it feels properly wild, proper Highland charm. And of course, it contains Loch Lomond itself, Britain's biggest lake by surface area.
A land of legends, too, isn't it? You can follow the Rob Roy Way, tracing the steps of the famous outlaw.
You can. Or for those classic sweeping views, climbing Ben Lomond gives you that amazing panorama over the loch and the surrounding highlands. Quintessential Scotland.
Okay, we're into the top 5 now. Tier 2. This is where we find Spanish gorges, Iceland's fire and ice, and some serious alpine legends.
Kicking off the top 5, at number 5 is Ordesa National Park in Spain, right up in the Pyrenees, often called the Grand Canyon of Europe.
That nickname sets high expectations. It sounds like a truly imposing landscape, that huge limestone amphitheater.
It is, and the trail that gets mentioned most is the Fachada das Flores. It's apparently this narrow path cut high up into the cliffside, giving you absolutely heart-stopping views down into the valley.
Not one for those with vertigo, then.
Probably not. What's also special about Ordesa is the wildlife focus, especially the work they do with the lammergeier, the bearded vulture. Spotting one of those massive birds soaring in the canyon is meant to be incredible.
Wow. Okay, number 4 takes us back to Iceland's dramatic landscapes. Vatnajökull National Park. The scale here is just immense.
It really is hard to grasp. Covering 14% of Iceland, holding Europe's largest ice cap, Vatnajökull is vast.
And it's that whole fire and ice thing, isn't it? The ultimate paradox.
Exactly. You can explore these unbelievable blue ice caves formed within the glacier, but right alongside or underneath, you've got intense geothermal activity, steaming vents, volcanic fields.
It sounds otherworldly. And the iconic image for many is Yosalan, right? The glacial lagoon.
Definitely. Watching those huge icebergs break off the glacier and float out towards the sea.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful, very humbling sight. Shows you the planet in action.
Absolutely. Okay, number 3, we're heading to Slovenia to the Julian Alps, Triglav National Park.
Triglav. The park is really centered around the mountain itself, Mount Triglav, the highest peak in Slovenia at 2,864 meters.
And there's that legend, isn't there, that every true Slovenian has to climb it at least once.
That's the one.
Yeah.
It shows such a deep cultural connection to the mountain and the park. It's more than just a hike. It's almost a pilgrimage for many Slovenians.
That's fascinating. Beyond climbing Triglav, what else stands out?
Well, the Socha River is famous. That incredible turquoise water is perfect for whitewater rafting. And there's the Vingar Gorge Walk, which is very popular. Plus, for stargazers, the area around Lake Bohinj is an international dark sky park.
Oh, wow. So incredible starry nights guaranteed.
Nice.
Okay, just before the top spot. Number 2 is Hohe Tauern National Park in Austria.
Austria's first and its largest national park. This place packs a punch in terms of scale and features.
Yeah, it's got the big hitters, Großglockner, Austria's highest mountain, and the Krimmel Falls, Europe's highest waterfall. It's all about majesty here.
Absolute majesty, that's a good word for it. But there's a quirky detail the sources brought up that I loved. The Bramberg Emerald Mine.
Right, inside the park. And you can actually dig for your own emeralds.
Apparently so. It's the only place in Europe where visitors can do that. A real hidden gem, literally within this park of giants.
That's brilliant. A totally unexpected activity.
It really is. Okay, drum roll. We've reached number 1, the top spot, Europe's crown jewel.
And we find ourselves back in Croatia, Plitvice National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and just the definition of water-based beauty.
Plitvice is all about that unique system of 16 lakes, all cascading one into the next through a series of waterfalls. It's like this continuous living water feature on a massive scale.
But the real magic, the thing everyone talks about, is the color of the water.
Exactly. It's like a natural kaleidoscope. The lakes shift through these incredible shades, bright azure, vivid green, sometimes gray, sometimes deep blue. It changes depending on the minerals in the water, the light, the time of year.
Why does that actually happen? It's limestone, right?
Yeah, it's this amazing natural process involving the water, the air, and the limestone bedrock. Over thousands of years, it forms these tufa barriers, natural dams made of travertine that create the lakes and waterfalls. And it's constantly changing, constantly evolving.
So walking along those wooden pathways that crisscross the lakes must be incredible.
It really is. You're right there, surrounded by the sound and sight of the water. And seeing it in winter with the waterfalls frozen.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's a whole other kind of magic. It just confirms its place as, number 1, a truly unique natural wonder.
Wow. So there we have it. 15 of Europe's most incredible natural treasures. We've gone from Iceland's glaciers down to Montenegro's canyons, seen places where you can literally swim between continents, climb legendary mountains, witness those fiery Dolomite sunsets. I think it's safe to say if you followed along, you're now seriously well-informed on the continent's best wilderness spots.
Definitely. And, thinking about the sheer variety we've covered, and especially those places with really sensitive natural processes, like the geology at Thingvellir or that unique water chemistry at Plitvice, it brings up a really important point, doesn't it?
Which is,
well, how do we manage it all? How do we strike that balance between letting people experience these amazing places, which often helps fund their protection, and actually protecting the very things that make them special, keeping those delicate natural processes intact while welcoming visitors? That's the ongoing challenge, really.
That's a really crucial point to end on. Finding that sustainable balance is key. Well, if you loved exploring these incredible landscapes with us, make sure you subscribe to Scenic Hunter for more valuable travel content and podcasts.
Until next time, keep seeking out those wonders. Remember, sometimes the most profound connections are found out there, in the wild heart of Europe. Travel well.